starting with an extra long recap since it's quite a while as to what our friends the Shinies have been into for the last couple of days. Um, they, well, actually, going only back 4 days. Oh, no, 5 days. Okay.
That's like half the campaign.
Pretty much, actually. Actually, let's not. We don't need to go back that far. We can just deal with the um, events since the Hangover, wherein. Oh, there goes my phone. Towards the end of the after effects of Roger the Crab Graham's retirement party, which took them a good 16 to 18 hours to flush everything out and finally get everything settled. Towards the end of that, uh, Marge and Ricky and Mr. Bits were at the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory, wherein a air quotes friend, perhaps associate of theirs, Dr. Ethan Blagg, synthesized $50,000 brand new illegal street, wherein Marge promptly stole $2,000 of it to pay back a debt with, uh, oh gosh, what's his name? Ilya Alexiev, the high-up member of the Vlorna, who is operating out of the Daffodil Club, wherein, just the night before, uh, Mr. Bits and the Crab had gotten into a Bear Night dance competition, and Mr. Bits won while wearing a kilt. After they left, or well, actually on their way out of the club, they or Marge spotted a particularly curious indentation in one of the couch cushions, which looked to be that of the Elephantum's posterior, and went and had a little chat with him
Oh,
um,
yeah.
about ethics and who's on what side and the like. Following that, they departed the Daffodil Club at approximately the evening. Walk outside to find it pitch black and starless sky. Way, way, way too early for April. And a bunch of shambling about. Intent on me, but intent on people's pants in awkward and uncomfortable fashions. Marge went home, basically said out and went home, leaving Ricky, Tyler, and Bert to face off with the Necropanther in Middle Park after killing all of his zombies and having a completely hopeless time almost of breaking a lightning, crackling lightning sphere around him. He teleported away. And then they decided to go
Sorry,
home.
guys. I gotta run to the door real quick.
Run to the what?
Run into the door.
Oh.
That's how quick Marge ran home to have wine night. You know, that Necropanther, that's coming back to me now too. The Necropanther was like way out of our league. We needed to level up and come back to the dungeon another time.
Doesn't know about the Necropanther yet because she got back and went to work the next day
Yeah.
and had her meeting with not Doctor, but with Edmund at 10 a.m. that they had scheduled um, in real time sometime in July of last year. Um,
Was it? Oh my god.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
that's right. Welcome back. Yeah, so you made your proposal with lots of PowerPoints and nifty things, and surprisingly, he didn't shoot you down, but he did say that he wants sponsors before he will jump in. He just doesn't want to be the only individual or organization footing the cost and donations, so to speak.
I have notes here where I made some deeply emotionally flawed proposal included involving oxpeckers.
Some deep.
Deeply flawed plan involving oxpeckers
Oh right,
and their symbiotic relationship with elephants or something. I don't know.
I feel like there was a. I'm sort of remembering this.
Because trying to bring the birds into it because Edmund is more of a bird guy, an aviary supporter, and how can I make
and
elephants into bird things?
he wasn't against it. He just said you had to work out the logistics. And
They
he
can't all
was
be
surprised.
Dumbo.
Yeah, it was not.
Maybe I should have brought Dumbo up during the presentation. Like, have you seen Dumbo? Birds, elephants, they can fly. The
The
special
sky.
ones.
On Monday, the 15th of April, the sky is still blackened, and the news report told everyone to avoid wearing pants or pant-like clothing articles if they can. And now the police are wearing skirts. Dr. Stellerson, Ricky and um, Tyler went back to the observatory to try and speak some more with Dr. Stellerson, but he is apparently, after being called in, and you were instead basically cock-blocked by his associate, Dr. Sparkletitz, who was be able to answer your questions about what they knew at the time being, which is, as far as you can tell, not that the sun is gone or that the stars are gone, but that there is something blocking out the sun. And it does not appear to be an ash cloud or any other extinction level event, although it does cover a large region. But it also does not appear to be natural at this point.
His name isn't Sparkletites.
No, Sparkletitz.
Just checking.
Yeah, just and the spelling of it is in the whiteboard for everyone at home's notes.
I don't think I'll forget.
I remember DJ Funk Juicy now, so like in about 5 years of game time, I'll remember this guy's name too.
It only took a couple months.
Until they're
Oh,
no
and
longer part of the plot.
well, not
Then I'll remember
necessarily.
his name just fine.
Not necessarily. Um, but also, I did love that your notes that you mentioned earlier on Twitter included Ravioli Howl, blues concert at the not at all excessively named Music Sports Multiplex brought to you by Elephant, um, which had absolutely nothing. It was just something that came on the radio as an announcement, and that got made notes of, but not anything that actually.
Those are skills there. This is what I bring to the
And
table.
oh yeah, and Russican Jude, whatever that.
Russian hands.
I don't even know. Google couldn't even figure out what you meant with that.
I have no idea what that was about. Like, was I trying to figure out what letters are? I don't know.
I have no idea. Okay. So with all that mostly catching us up to where we were left off, this is not at all to, for example, um, provide any closure to the gang civil war between who's furious with you and his former lieutenant Morris Slay, formerly of the motherfucking Time, but you guys killed the Time, so now it's just Morris Slay, who splintered off with his loyal followers and started the Funk era, or anything to do with stopping the Ichigo, or with Evan Schuster and how he is involved with it as the link, or what else is there? Elephantum and his supposed thievery of the potted cake off the Museum of Phenomenally Expensive Artifacts and Art Pieces, seemingly without a trace, even though it was caught directly on video doing it. sort of, not caught, but it was done directly on video. Or whatever happened to Apocalypse Cow. I think that's all. Everything else is. I think that's everything for the moment. I'm probably forgetting 6 or 7 different plot threads. Oh well, they'll come up. So,
Oh
where
yeah,
we left off.
I'm supposed to get other donors for this elephant thing. Or Marge is supposed to get more people willing to donate elephant art or something before Ed and Ren will do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember
Yeah,
how many.
we
Of
had just
course,
covered that though.
I didn't make notes of it though.
So,
Oh, I did
with
make
that,
notes. Okay.
Marge is at work at the Harold G. Wren Memorial Zoo doing. It's actually because most of the zoo animals are diurnal, and with the endless night, they feel as though they should be awake because they've slept, but the sky is telling them to go to sleep. So most of the animals are relatively chill and kind of just lounging around.
It's just the
Um,
lions and the hyenas having parties. They're raving
yeah, basically,
because it's too dangerous to
they're
sleep at night, as far as they're concerned.
for them this is 30 days of night, but it's a party.
It's
Um,
like they're gifted and talented high school students prepping for their SATs.
oh yeah, they're huffing Adderall,
Yeah,
and
ain't no party like a Ritalin party because a Ritalin party don't stop.
until your prescription runs out. And Ricky and Tyler, um, I don't remember if you were in costume or not. I believe you. Um, After having air quotes broken into Dr. Stellarson's, not his lab, but the observatory lab, um, thanks to some of Mr. Bitts's ingenuity figuring out the door code.
Oh yeah, we were in costume.
I
This was
felt
all about.
I feel like Shota had on his Sailor Moon because of the whole pantsing zombies situation, and Tyler had his purple jumpsuit on for the same reason.
That were
I
you in Sailor Moon?
I don't recall. I don't think I.
I thought you had
Oh
just
man.
cinched your belt up extra tight.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't think I did. I didn't wear
so
the Sailor Moon thing.
so
Because I
you're
definitely would have
danger
left on the
walking.
opportunity. Yeah, I definitely would have left on the opportunity to put Sailor Moon back on the whiteboard.
Okay.
But oh, and I also forgot that there was a. I didn't put this on the calendar. I'm surprised at myself. Um, Last night, visit to the planetarium. It was Sunday night, and you guys interrupted 40s and 50s date night at Planet Tapas and slaughtered a whole bunch of zombies while a bunch of middle-aged people were on their first dates and totally ruined their evening. And Shota decapitated a zombie and kicked a head through the plain glass window, which has now been boarded up.
But let's face it, they were like eating tapas, so really the night wasn't going to be that great anyhow.
They're eating tapas at a
This
planetarium.
was more exciting. We just liven things up a notch. It's a bonding kind of experience.
I think they call that
Exactly.
performance art now.
Yeah.
So standing in the observatory lab with Dr. Sparkletts, shinies. What would you like to do?
I can't remember the way. Because we had a conversation with him. And I think he told us, like, just to get lost.
Basically, yeah. As I recall, you had finished the conversation, and it was just about
Oh,
we hadn't gone on to the next stage yet.
didn't
Where
I
you?
use my superpower to? Now I'm remembering something. I used my superpower to go invisible, and I left the room
I feel like
looking for Dr.
yeah.
Stellarson.
I know.
that
I think you tried to go invisible.
I was
so
invisible, and I
you
just left the room.
and that was actually in the middle of the conversation, if I
Hmm.
recall correctly. You'd run out. They heard you run out, but were like, whatever. And then you ran out, ran all up and down the hall, couldn't find Dr. Stellarson, yelled, didn't doors were locked, didn't get anywhere, and then just came back kind of sheepishly.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that
I
was
mean,
going to be
that's what I
something
recall.
cool.
No, that's what I recall. It was
I thought
basically
we just ended on the invisible part, but
you were trying to get out, and then. But, so he's basically just staring at you, kind of
See, this is the
head
problem.
nodding towards the door,
I
like.
absolutely do not remember what we intended to do.
let's come up with a
As
new plan.
Like,
as
I
as
have
I
Our
no
recall,
plan
leads.
is
as I recall, the person who had the plan, who's absent at the moment, was basically saying that you needed to find some way to get through the Necropancer's force field, and we're trying to see if maybe there was something at HQ or that Dr. Blag had,
Oh, yeah, like maybe HQ has a whole file on the Necropancer.
or some kind of force field buster missile, or
oh, okay.
Do you think John Swanson's talking to us again yet?
and Dr. Stellarson.
No, no, John
No, it's John
Swanson.
Swan.
Oh, John Swanson. Oh,
He was kind of
I don't
pissed
know.
at
You
us.
haven't talked to him yet.
He's the one we always ask
Well,
annoying
actually not.
questions of when we don't know things about Defenders HQ. Oh, but like, wasn't the Crimson Ninja supposed to be our handler or our like orientation go to?
That was left out, or not left out, but mentioned that the Crimson Ninja was supposed to be your mentor, um, and kind of guide you through the ropes of becoming, heroes and dealing with public public interfacing. But
She
that,
sucks at it.
well, no, the problem is you guys kind of dove in feet first. Don't really don't really need her anymore. She's um do do.
So if we
Yeah,
go
you guys
back,
are.
if we go back to Defenders HQ, is there going to be like a infamy archive or something where like they have like is it gonna, do we already know this or is it going to be obvious where to go if we have a question to try to research necromancer force fieldy type stuff?
Well, well, at least Shota would know, and Tyler, since Strikeout would know as well, since he's in the apartment now. Um, your best resource to do that sort of research is presently, we'll say he's under the
AFK.
weather. Um, while you were talking, Dr. Sparklet, he got a phone call, picked it up. I think it might have been from the Daffodil Club, but his face turned bright red, and he just kind of was like, "I got to take this," and hallway, and you don't know where he is right now. Kind of MIA.
Oh, I hope he's not pregnant.
Which one, Kink, Twink, or Bert?
Bert. Or King, I guess it could be King Twink too. I mean, it could be like anybody we came in contact with that night.
Well, no, because oh gosh, oh my God, what's his name? Wilhelm. Wilhelm is not present, so the owlbears need not fear. When in,
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like campaign specific or if it was just,
well,
hangover
if you
specific.
yeah, if you run into someone named, well, that's true. It could have happened. It could have
Oh
happened.
gosh, I saw a thread on Twitter this past week about somebody like, being traumatized because they missed a session and their DM made them pregnant. Or they're
Oh
making them make the
yeah.
fail saves.
Did you retweet that?
I didn't retweet it. I was like, at first I was gonna retweet it, and then I was like, oh wait, no, I kind of did that because Wilhelm
That's
making
true.
Wilhelm
You
a
did.
baby daddy, and then I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm shitty. But the circumstances, it was appropriate.
I don't see it being that terrible. I mean,
Well,
after
it's
all, he was
different if
part of.
you're like a really serious campaign, and then if you're you know doing a one shot with you know written about or inspired by The Hangover. That's a different kind of
You mean a 13 shot?
Yeah, what
yeah,
was
whatever the
intended to be a
case.
one shot surprise. You wake up, you're like the baby's, your baby daddy. I felt
That's it.
guilty. That's the thing.
I don't. I mean, he took part in a weird drow ritual. It's all manner of interesting. Um, but as far as you don't know whether he's pregnant or not. But um, you do know that in your apartment is a nice, fancy research terminal, which has access to most, if not most, of the defenders of the city have acquired and accumulated over their years of being an alliance. Um, so
Can we
there is.
can we interact with it verbally like Alexa or ship's computer in Star Trek? That way Tyler can like actually do it and doesn't have to worry about like looking at the screen terminal of the terminal and worry if it's going to give him like, a splitting headache.
Sure, there's voice input and screen readers, and accessibility is important.
Oh, goody, we're going full Star Trek here.
Accessibility is
So,
important.
So we could like see if we'd only known this existed, we could be just like computer.
well, actually, one of the best parts about the Echo, I can't say her name because there's one like literally 8 inches away from my head. Um, change one of her wake words to actually be computer.
Oh, sweet.
And like so think about it this way: when you do, hold on, let me turn it up a little bit. Uh, Alexa, fire photon torpedoes.
Firing photon torpedoes.
Sweet.
Oh, nice.
All the nerds rejoice.
So you can say computer fire photon torpedoes, or there's all sorts of Star Trek.
See, it's a good thing we didn't really realize that earlier because I can see like Shota and Tyler just like hanging out, asking the computer to fire photon torpedoes repeatedly until they pass out.
So I assume then are Ricky and Tyler going to head back to HQ and try and do some research on things?
Yep, unless Shota has an alternate goal, like he's something else you want to do.
Mm, not really. I mean, right now, Shota's priority is what the fuck's going on with the sun,
Yeah, what the fuck is going on with the
and
sun?
um, I mean, the necropancer is a big deal too because the zombies suck.
And he obviously
Oh,
seems to be involved.
and I totally forgot to mention before you guys went to we're rewinding a little bit and back to the recap. Before you guys went to Planet Tapa, interrupt 40s and 50s date night, there was a brief moment where Tyler and Ricky were left alone. Everything bad seems to happen when that circumstance comes into place, and a rip in the fabric of time and space of them and tore open a thinner and more importantly assembled Dr. Ethan Black, his spider robot costume, but actually intact like a human again, who then told you that he had tracked down this moment to be the part when the darkest timeline started, and he
Oh,
needs you to make 3 steps to the right. But he didn't specify who was going 3 steps to the right, and whether it was his right or your right. Both of you went in opposite directions, bumped into each other, and he said, "Shit," and flickered out of existence. So that was a thing that happened too. We got to remember.
Yeah, we should
Just
probably
just
ask
in
the
case.
computer about darkest timelines and stuff. Maybe
oh yeah, we could do some research on that.
like what's the protocol?
I
If
mean,
you think you're in the darkest timeline, how should
I've already
defenders?
got roast beef and pierogies on the plate. Why not throw some darkest timelines?
Right.
um, yeah, I mean, I could do some research on parallel universes. That's
Totally.
similar to a certain RPG I played called Time Trigger. Patent pending. Well, I can't use the real name because it's copyrighted and stuff. But yeah,
Oh, right. Chrono firearm activation mechanism.
exactly. One of those.
Okay. So which one of you would like to, or would both of you like to do some sort of research on the computer system?
God, we're so screwed. You're gonna have better luck because you have that like fancy pants ability that makes you think you can do everything.
Yeah. I try to use it sparingly though.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it
Tyler has no abilities that would allow him. Maybe let me look.
tends to go apocalyptic on at the wrong times.
Um
No, Tyler. Even though his backstory involves playing Super Mega Fight Island, his skills really are in the physical sportiness area, sports ball arena. So unless you need to like throw the computer at him and have him like catch it,
just picturing
wide receiver kind of situation, then I think we are out of luck in terms of unless just natural rollingness is good.
You could make a case that because of your mundane job skill being convenience clerk, that you're used to navigating corporate interface.
first gift of the night.
Oh yeah, I need to check this out.
The files are inside the computer.
Inside
Yes!
the computer.
Yes.
So who's helming this?
I'll do some research. Why not?
All right, let's see what skills you got here.
Video games is the only thing close enough.
You pretend you're playing Shadowrun.
Yeah, I'm gonna like relate everything to Time Trigger. You know what? I'm googling a synonym to trigger right now because
What the heck? Go ahead. You're smart, hero, and video games. Why not? Why not?
let's do it.
Hey, in Grand Theft Auto 4, there was an internet browser that you could hack into in
Oh,
the game.
oh my! This is not good already. 6.
6.
Well,
Okay.
6 is not the worst, but
And what exactly were you trying to find information on?
the parallel universes and
Okay. You find a number of external article links, basically lending you towards string theory, where every decision leads to a fraction and multiple other threads, and that there's potentially universes. But as far as concrete information from this particular universe or something special that the defenders have, like of aliens or what have you, you don't really find anything. It's all external conspiracy theory stuff.
So we
yeah.
don't find anything, but every time Ricky browses to something, Tyler's like, okay, let's print that. So like you get this
So
like
we have like 42 sheets of
400
color
pages. Oh
color printed,
full page color ink.
high quality.
Had to change the cartridge twice. Tyler's just printing
Got-
stuff up like he's your grandmother with her first printer.
Yep, that's how it works.
Got toner on your outfit.
Just in case. It might be useful later. You never know. Be the secrets of the universe in these pages.
So, multiple universe angle. Was
So
there anything else you
nothing scientific
And you
out there, of course.
in the other
It's
universes,
just a bunch of whack jobs.
the thing is, in another universe, all of this paper probably has the answer on it.
Exactly. We probably would have printed something useful.
It's really
But in
wild.
this universe,
It's like the
Oh,
uncertainty.
we printed out some wallpaper.
As long as we don't read this paper, the answer could or couldn't be there.
But we saw it happen. We saw him show up.
We may or may not have the answer. We won't know until we read it, so we should just not read this paper.
Tyler printed the entire Sliders fandom wiki page.
It's just yes.
Just like the entire wiki.
Yes! The entire Sliders wiki, yes.
The whole thing. That's basically the only thing we researched.
And we started. No.
And a playthrough guide to Time Activator. That's my attempt at
Then
trigger.
Tyler's like, "Oh my God! Did you know Samuel Beckett never made it home? He never made it home, man."
That show was interesting.
Hey, spoilers. Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to call spoilers on a show that's 20 years old.
That's been off the air for like 20 plus years.
Yeah. Okay, so you've not the parallel universes angle. Is there anything else you wanted to research while you're here at
Is there
HQ?
like does Defenders at HQ have its own like browser brand? Are we just Googling stuff?
Yeah, do they have like
You-
Defenders Net or DefNet?
Well, yeah, there is an internal
Dougal?
that's. Yeah, I actually mentioned that whenever you did the parallel universes searches, your results were external links outside of the Defender's internal data source. So yes, there is an internal data
I missed that.
database.
Oh, let's do the internal one. Why didn't I do the internal one?
No, you did
Crazy.
the internal one. That's
Oh, I
what
did.
what it resulted in is external.
Oh,
External
because my
links.
role
Like
was not great.
yeah, and you don't have a you have a theory
And
that
I got
like
distracted. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you just type in a question? Because you know, like you like to type in questions and stuff. So like, why don't we type in how do you break a necromancy force field?
I'm Googling this right now.
Google, yeah, break the necromancer's force field. Tips.
necropancer force field break. How to help, please.
Tips and tricks.
Life hacks. All right, so if you would like to
Is there a cheat code?
if you'd like to research force fields and methods of bypassing them, then you can make another roll for that.
The first link is for Divinity Original Sin 2.
What for time activator?
No, sorry, Divinity. Okay, the next thing after Parallel Universes then is definitely the Necromancer's Force Field. We need to just, I think if we simplify it to force fields, I will roll again for this for this research. Unless Strago, you want to take a turn at the keyboard there.
Well, that would be just like Smart and Hero, right? Because I don't have video games.
Well, you
don't
could
have video games,
roll. Luckily,
I did mention you could use convenience store clerk as your mundane job skill for familiarity with navigating through corporate interfaces.
oh, like pay systems, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
sure.
inventory systems.
Because a lot of balls bowling alley is such the corporate infrastructure.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on all the shoes, sizes
Well,
and colors.
see, my headcanon on it is that Ray Bob's a cheap bastard, and instead of keeping like one system for any length of time, he just does like the 3-month free trial for one system, and then when that expires, he gets another one. and he just keeps going through different systems. So like you got to relearn a whole new and point of sale system.
Plus, you got to learn the whole scoring programs, right? Like that's hard to do even at for normal people. How many times have you tried to type your name in and you just get sparkle edits or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it just
Sparkly
does like the
tides.
first letter. It's just like F,
Yeah. Oh, I
G.
screwed it up. Can't change it ever.
All right, today I'm going to be Q, guys. I messed up.
Well, that was really effective because I rolled 2 1s and a 3. I rolled a 5.
So that's a 5. If my
Yeah, that's how. I'm so excellent. Woohoo!
okay. In this case, it returns. You can tell from the screen, it's trying to give you Google or basically search locations place, like a basketball or like a baseball stadium called Forcefields, and it's like no results found for Force Fields. Did you mean Langley Fields?
Oh,
Oh, the bastards.
man. We're the worst. Well, let's just go find the Necropancer and defeat him.
I guess we
Well,
should go to the planetarium. I mean, maybe. I mean, we don't know how to figure out stuff out. We don't understand.
We need someone smart to help us.
we don't understand how figuring out
And
things
Mr.
works.
Bits may or may not be pregnant.
So
and well,
yeah,
if only you guys were sort of friends with a genius scientist that
Well, I did
is
think of that,
totally okay
but
with
we've called
operating
on
in moral
him.
gray areas.
We've called on him often enough. But maybe he's the one we talk to.
I don't think that's friendship. I think that's just he hasn't tried to kill us yet. But he's cool, weird, sort of. He knows things about stuff, but it's probably really wild. Don't touch. I don't think we should touch anything. And like if he offers us any powder, we should probably say no.
Oh yeah, Ricky, your left hand from the elbow to the fingertips, it still has no sensation.
That's true. That's probably why I have troubles typing.
Oh no, you still have full mobility. You just can't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't cook with that hand.
Definitely do not try and test something's temperature. Like you could stir your coffee with your finger and not even.
Okay, yeah, we might as well go to the planetarium and throw some water on the oil fire.
Yeah, of course.
That reminds me of one of my favorite silly scenes from. Pretty sure it was from The Art of War with Wesley Snipes, the movie. At the beginning, there's a detective who gets handed a cup of coffee and he rips open a couple packets and pours some sugar in it and stirs it with his finger, and the junior is like, "Doesn't that hurt?" And he just deadpan goes, "Yes." I love the delivery on that. Anyway, so we're heading to the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory. Did I hear that?
Yeah.
You sure did.
Do they have
Yeah,
any
let's go there.
Vespas in the motor pool?
Are you lonely for Vespa?
I miss Little Vroom Vroom.
Or Vroom Vroom?
Yeah, I was like wondering if they had like a
That-
suitable alternative. Or are we gonna have to get like another Pinto or something?
If they have matching Vespas, then we can roll out on Vespas.
I can pretty much guarantee they do not have Vespas in the motor pool.
That's shocking.
That's
Vespas.
not.
Vespas just scream superhero to me. I don't know.
It's not typically something that is
It's not
requested.
a superhero type.
I can't imagine why it's not considered a superhero vehicle. They're really cool.
For those that may have missed the last few episodes, Saturday, yeah, it was Saturday night. While heavily blackout intoxicated, Tyler and Ricky had got onto the roof of the bowling alley, and Tyler held out Vespa, purple, named Lil Vroom Vroom, while Ricky threw his katana and sliced it clean in half. So Lil Vroom Vroom is no more.
Poor little
One
Vroom.
day I'll be rich enough to replace Broom Broom.
Gotta get those endorsements fast, man.
Yeah.
Maybe if we make it through another week.
Okay, yeah,
You
let's go
know,
to
if we
the
if we defeat
particle
this
accelerator
necromancer dude,
laboratory.
we take out
Oh
this
yeah, that's
necromancer
gonna
guy.
put us on the
Well, totally.
map.
People be just pounding the pavement trying to get our photo endorsements, and we could probably be in some kind of soda commercial. Yeah. Jalapeno
I
popper
feel
commercial.
Or energy drink commercial.
Yeah, that instant energy whatever stuff.
Oh yeah, the stuff
That I love.
that Ricky is addicted to. The totally light to go energy
It
rush
just keeps
citrus.
my heart rate at a normal pace right now.
I feel
Yeah,
I'm gonna fill up my
If I don't have any, it just like slows unnaturally to
before
keeps
we
him at a
leave
nice steady 185 beats a minute.
exactly.
before we leave
I'm sorry,
Defenders
before we leave,
HQ, I'm going to fill up my jalapeno popper cozy so that I have snacks for the road.
of course, some fresh
Yeah.
poppers from the food court. Ricky full of energy powder.
Yeah, oh yeah, I take a couple pouches with me.
And have we watched like? I guess it hasn't been that long since we've watched the news, so there probably hasn't been anything different that's happened in the city since.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Like in the cafeteria is the TV on with the news.
It's basically doing the previous evening's announcement, not the whole thing, but the uh, specific to the pants zombie, which says the city police department has been mobilized to address the threat wherever it is found. This means you may hear a disturbing increase in gunfire as the disturbances are dealt with. Until we know more about the situation, it is recommended that the public continues life as usual, with the exception of wearing any pants or pant-like articles of clothing in an attempt to dissuade unwanted zombie attention. Examples of what to avoid include slacks, jeans, cargo pants or cargo-style shorts, khakis or khaki-style shorts, capri pants or sweatpants, articles of clothing that appear to deter unwanted zombie attention, bicycle shorts, speedos, jumpsuits, and rompers.
I add another notch to my belt and tighten it even more.
His face
It's like
turns slightly
uncomfortably
blue.
tight right now.
It's affecting your breathing.
My diaphragm.
All right, the planetarium. I mean, not the planetarium, the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory. I've said the planetarium repeatedly, but what I meant to say was the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory.
It's okay.
They're science buildings.
The science building.
Okay.
The one
So you
that
have
had a lobster baby, not the one that had sparkle tits.
sparklets.
I mean, sparklets. The sparkly
Sparkly tits?
sparkly tights, sparklet, sparklet eats.
From
Sparklet.
through the ether, you from miles away. It's sparklets.
Okay.
Who said that?
I wonder if they know about multiple universes and how to break up force field. Disembodied voice.
Not that they'll ever help us at that planetarium.
Planetarium.
Planetarium. I love it. That's awesome.
I am dead. Okay. So unlike doing the inverse of Banksy, at the Nuclear Particle Accelerator Research Laboratory. You enter through the gift shop.
To the labor
Take your left.
artery.
This is me pushing F to facepalm. Um, you go to the enter through the gift shop. Take your left. Rather large and well, as far as you think, unnecessarily thick and barred steel door. Kind of do a little wave at the security cameras. Being at this well known here, it just there's a click and the door light goes green and then this door that probably runs itself slowly and leads you into the familiar dark oppressive shaft. Your particle accelerator research laboratory's main chamber, which goes down into unknown depths of darkness and oblivion. Following the ramp down to the left, you are the first door opens. You remember, as I scroll, being the way to the library of databanks which had the massive sonic reverberation hazard if you didn't have any physical or oral protection. And out of this door exits your best friend on the planet, the assistant Emily Deschanel. Absolutely no resemblance to the actress. Well, perfect physical resemblance, but no relation to the actress. Who takes a few steps forward, cocks a head, crosses her arms, and waits for you to. You say anything as you.
Oh, to Emily? Oh, no. We'll just,
Shota, you feel a sharp ache in your right calf. As you recall, the last time you met ended with her pointed high heels toe kicking you right in the middle of the muscle, but you managed to not make so much as a peep or flinch. Amazing performance check. Because she was a little upset at you for giving him, by him she means Dr. Blag, access to Nichigo, because the last time you left him, he was high as a kite, and so was Floyd the Fish, and they were listening to rave music in one of his labs.
He's a grown up. He makes his own choices.
Yeah. He could have totally left that drugs alone.
Yeah,
it's not our fault.
It may be our fault about this fish situation, but like the mad scientist, he his own man.
Exactly. So like when we pass by Emily, it's just, hey,
Asterix.
who are you again?
We got some business with the professor.
Yeah, what's your name?
Receptionist lady person.
She kind of
Glenda?
ignores the baiting and looks over her shoulder into the darkness, her shoulder, and just says, he's in the third floor basement. Turns on her heels, which is impressive to do in heels, and stomps back into her library office.
Don't work too hard.
Yeah.
As I call out to her before she leaves.
I'm sorry, what did you call out to her?
I just said, don't work too hard.
Don't what?
Don't work too hard.
Oh, don't work too hard. Over your shoulder, you're pretty sure you see that she flashed you a middle finger.
She's just rude.
Yeah, I don't get her.
Immaculately painted.
Okay, yeah, so third floor basement.
Okay, head down to the third floor basement, which as you, once again, as you approach, the door clicks, the little security camera whirs, and the door lock opens. As usual, there's no labeling on it. Immaculately clean, like spotless.
We're just super welcome, aren't we?
Hmm. Yeah, it's what happens when you gain lots of favor
Yeah, when you're
with an
like
NPC.
really important heroes, like the type that single-handedly defeat the Butt Kraken, or Harakuda, or chase off the Necropancer.
Exactly. Exactly. When you
Take on the
complete quests
crab
for
in
the
hand
NPC,
to hand combat.
they love you for it.
Totally.
And so, are you entering the third floor basement?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're like, hey, yo, Dr.
Which floor is this one?
Yo,
Is this one of the
man.
animal
As you open
floors
it
with
up,
all the animals?
you open up. Land mammal is the next floor over.
Oh right, yeah.
This is the marine life genome tubes and holding
Right.
tank, which is fish and cephalopods suspended in like substance, which from your previous experience is probably not a good idea to touch.
Stay away from the shark
Um,
tank.
Oh, unless and suspended. It's just either perfectly preserved or in suspended animation, or
But
some
like,
mixture of the both.
Tyler knows that just because it seems to be suspended in the goop, sometimes there are exceptions. And a lobster baby or scorpion
That was
baby or something bites your face.
Dr. Blag already explained that was a freak accident with on the lobster scorpion baby
Yeah, but if it can
already
happen
be
once,
dead.
it can happen again.
And as you wander around the floor, you're once again met with the massive, almost football-sized tank that lines an entire wall that's approximately 30 feet tall from floor to ceiling, containing the moving remnants of the butt kraken as recovered from the harbor,
Yeah.
including the one butt cheek that was completely severed off, and the other butt cheek that were blown by missiles fired as a 9mm gun.
Yeah, I
Which of
mean,
course it shoots missiles. Why wouldn't it?
yeah, exactly. And it gives me a little bit, a swell of pride to see that creature.
Plus swagger.
Exactly.
And around the corner, from there, with Floyd the fish sitting on a little chair, bleeding at him, is Dr. Ethan Blag, tapping away at a computer panel with his disturbing humanish head, with unbelievably long double chin, with his spine in a tube, and then the rest of his clear glass case, with a enclosed, which, if you so amusingly labeled his poop chute last time. We'll throw that up there on the whiteboard for a moment for everyone to watch
Glop
at
in
home.
amazement.
I don't know about amazement, but tapping away at a computer with his strangely double jointed robot hands, and waves approach. Well, hello there. I didn't expect you quite back quite so. Seeing as you left here yesterday.
Wait,
Well, it's
couldn't you?
interesting. Something interesting happened actually. We seem to have run into, or somebody, you showed up
I'm afraid
randomly
I
from a parallel time universe. Does that make sense to you at all?
turns and looks at you with for the very first time since you've met him, with confusion, like, what are you talking about? And he just says, no, I haven't left my laboratory in weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually you because it wasn't you. It was a different you.
Like he had a body.
Wasn't he like he had a body, right?
Like
If I remember,
a humanoid body as opposed to an arachnid mechanical body.
Arachno robot.
And he was talking about like I've identified this is the time the split off point of when the darkest timeline began or something like that. And he told us to like jump 3 steps.
Well,
to
no,
the
he said that there was no
left.
way we could stop it. There was no way we could stop it.
What?
Remember, there was no way we could stop it.
I thought he told us we should
That's what
jump.
he said. No, I mean, he didn't say anything about that.
And then we didn't jump right or something, and he said, "Oh shit!" and then he disappeared. Anyway, it was you, man.
I think he
so
just
we thought
teleported
you know
away.
what's going on.
Shota gaslighting his teammate. Like, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
No.
He didn't say anything about
Are you sure? I feel like there was some hokey pokey going on, but like you know, first you jump to the left and then you jump to the right, but so we didn't know if it was his left or our left. I mean, he wasn't really clear. I mean, that's the problem, dude. You need to be really concise in the future. If that was you, or do you have any twin brothers or something?
No.
What do you know about parallel universes in general?
Like string theory and stuff. It has something to do with silly string. We
And-
figured out that much.
And the show sliders.
Yeah. Cats in boxes.
Another first with Dr. Black is you actually watch him face palm.
Don't poke yourself in the eye.
There are many theories about parallel universes, but that belongs in theoretical astrophysics and is, I'm afraid, not one of my, how should you say, specialities. I deal more with physics and recombination and gene manipulation.
Well, that's like really weird, dude, because you're like coming and throwing all this knowledge at us about alternate timelines or whatever yesterday, and now you like don't know anything about alternate timelines? That's just confusing.
Well,
Shota's like walking in a circle with his finger and his thumb on his temple, like trying to really think really hard, you know. Eyes closed, squinted hard.
Like
trying to what?
Just thinking like, what is happening?
I just think that like Blarg and his twin brother need to get their story straight, you know? That I bet he's your evil twin.
I mean, it's possible. Well, it has to be. There was a parallel universe. In a parallel universe, he didn't lose his body. And studied instead of gene manipulation, he studied
so like he
time
came to
travel?
talk to us, but like he was from a different universe, so he like screwed up totally. Went to the wrong universe to give him a warning.
Did you ever study time travel, Dr. Black? Or have the opportunity?
I can assure you that you are both watching far too many television shows.
No, what happened is true, though. You did show up from a parallel timeline.
Right, yeah, you definitely showed up, and you definitely were all like, this is the darkest timeline and where it
Said that this is the
starts.
darkest timeline.
And then you totally
said,
made us
don't do
jump
anything
3
right now. There's no way to change anything.
And you're saying that I showed up with a body.
A full body. A real body.
Yeah, I think you were wearing a turtleneck.
Not
actually, was he actually
was
slim enough? Like, was he slim and fit?
I feel like he was
not fit, but he had definitely lost a significant amount of weight compared to what he'd seen.
He had a neck.
Of his body.
He had a neck and he was showing it off.
He did actually for that was for other reasons which we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
And it was the only skin that was visible basically was the head.
See, like the idea of parallel timelines is that you made a decision way in the past that change the timeline to where you lost your body currently in this current situation, and then there's another timeline where you started studying time travel
Like,
or something.
was there ever a point early in your school days where you got into a fight at a bar and like you got stabbed in the heart and you laughed? And,
What?
and if you hadn't got
That's me, the DM going, where are you taking this?
and if you hadn't gotten stabbed in the heart, you would have like totally become like this science nerd and like never accomplished anything in your life and just in this in this laboratory.
Laboratory. Oh shit.
Stare turns from Strikeout over to Shota and goes, what?
Okay, it looks like we're getting carried away here. Do you know anyone who deals with this type of topic?
It's all theoretical. There is nobody that does it. They're all quacks and whack jobs.
But I mean, we did some Google searching and that's all we found. So maybe they know what's actually going on.
I can assure you that my operations in the scientific community for the past 40 plus years have greatly trumped your Google search.
Okay. Well, if there's anyone you can point us in the direction of, even if they're crazy.
Not really.
All right.
Man, we're so screwed.
Emily might know someone. She likes dealing with cracks and whack jobs.
Well, she doesn't really dealing with us.
Yeah, can you ask her?
Yeah, because
And then tell us what she says.
she doesn't like us.
It's like hand him a note. Will you help us check yes or no? Yeah, he just kind of does a dismissive hand wave and just says, just ask her. She'll answer.
See, I think she treats him differently than she treats us.
Of course she does. I have her contract.
Oh, can you give us her contract?
God, no.
Darn it. We're just striking out all over the place, and it's not in the good way like my superhero name. Okay, so I guess we shuffle kind of abashedly up the ramp toward level 2 where Emily's desk is.
Did you want to ask him about anything else before you left?
Oh yeah, do you know stuff about force fields?
No, that I can.
Oh,
do you know how to
he knows about force fields. Sweet.
Yeah, like we ran into a necropancer guy who's like creating a whole like bunch of zombies that like to pull your pants down. And when we went to fight him, he had this force field, and we couldn't break through it, and we weren't able to, restrain him in any way or do him any damage. He was pretty much invincible. And I feel like he's kind of we're pretty sure, right, Shota? We're pretty sure that he has something to do with the part where there's no sun right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think first thing.
Yeah.
Is this force field that you're referring to? Is this a technological force field or a magical one? They're very different animals.
How would we tell the difference?
What is there a large mix emitting the force field?
He was on a DS or a dais or a dais, whatever you want to call it.
Since neither of you have I will give both of you just plain smart rolls, smart plus hero, to see if you can recall
This is so
specific
hopeless.
details.
Oh, what are we rolling? Sorry. A
Smart plus hero, that's it.
smart plus zero. Okay. Here we go.
Alrighty, I'm getting them out of my system. I rolled 2 1s.
Oh,
That's
I
a
God.
got
two.
7.
Both of the smart people are absent from this encounter.
This is why we get so much accomplished.
This is why it's the darkest timeline.
Okay, so I'm sorry. What did Strikeout get?
2.
2. Okay.
I got
Wow.
7.
Uh, Tyler, you start trying to think back to the necropancer floating above the statue, and then all you can think about is tacos.
Well, tacos are delicious.
They are. Ricky.
And it's Tuesday.
It seems to always be Tuesday.
Even when it's Monday.
Yeah, Monday in game, but Tuesday. There's your parallel universes. Ricky, you remember that the necropancer was, while he was floating above a statue, which you guys destroyed in the center of Middle Park. Well, not the center, but partway into Middle Park. That he was floating above the top of the statue with the sphere around him, but there wasn't anything you would describe as an air quotes large technological device.
Oh, yeah. So,
Is it magic?
So you're just sitting there thinking about this.
Maybe it was magic.
is there such thing as magic? How could you make a force field without technology? Is he using the sun's power?
Is it magic just science we haven't discovered yet?
I guess. Yeah.
Now you're getting. Finally, you're starting to make some sense. And
Well,
you
he could
hear
have something in his pocket.
he chuckles, and which is with his wobbly under chin. Um, he chuckles and says, "Well, if it's a magical force field, then you won't be able to break it with any sort of technology. They're two different animals. That's like I don't know, trying to swim with 10,000 pounds of lead tied to your legs. That doesn't really work very well. If you need the defenders have some magical things, but they're how shall we say slightly prejudiced against anything magical. They tend to keep them under lock and key. They don't like things that they think that magic is a shortcut to superpowers, which you normally have to build up a lifetime through hard work and destroying other things, causing collateral damage all over the place. Kind of like he did to my parking lot. Now, there is a place you could go get some. Of course, that's where most of my, and he puts his hands out, most of my samples come from. You see, there's a, deep beneath the city, under the sewers, there's a dungeon of sorts. We'll just call it the dungeon. It's some old cavern networks, some old.
Are there any dragons down there?
Maybe we haven't explored the whole thing. It keeps about extended proximity to sleeping elder god or something like that. No, if you want to get to the dungeon, I do have a contact that can help you get there.
Sure. Why
His
not?
name's his name's Morgan. hangs out at the affordable pizza parlor.
What?
God, that's the name of my actual PC in our campaign.
What?
That's the name of my PC in my campaign in our D&D campaign.
Oh God.
I was like, what? Is he a dwarf? A cleric? Dwarf?
No. No. He is, although he is a bit on the short side, I would not make it a point to bring that up.
Okay.
So Morgan at the affordable pizza parlor.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have to use any code words to talk to him or anything? Like,
No
I
pineapple.
like a pizza with anchovies.
Just let him know that I sent you.
Okay. That's simple enough.
He brings me most of my samples, so he's relatively well versed with how the dungeon works.
Perfect. All right. Great. Well, I mean, keep it cool, don't do any more drugs. And I start to leave.
Drugs are for the darkest timeline.
I can't make any promises.
All right, so back up at the street, we get back in our defender's vehicle. We got a car, right? I guess.
Of course.
And let's go to the affordable pizza place. Track down Morgan.
All right. And
If you're cool with
since I
that,
got-
Tyler.
Oh yeah, totally. Pizza. We could get a cheese pizza. I could put some of my jalapeno poppers on it. Have a nice snack while we're talking to the dude.
that did a burger, like a cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger that had jalapeno poppers on it, and oh my God.
A popper pizza burger.
Well, no, in this case it was just a
IRL.
burger. And yeah, IRL. It was a double cheeseburger
That's a
with
great
jalapeno
idea.
poppers on it, and it is so good. Oh my God.
I could imagine that being great.
Yeah, that was amazing. I'm just mad they discontinued it. I'm like, what? Why would you do that? All right. So, ba-ba-da-ba, off to the affordable pizza parlor, whose logo I got to finish.
Oh, you even put parlor in Canadian.
Well, in this case, it's not so much Canadian. It's trying to sound fancy.
Parlour.
Yeah, we're a parlor. Kind of like ye old shop, you know.
That's super affordable looking.
Yeah.
When you get there, the outside, there's, you notice for a rare thing in the relative middle area of the city, most of the city is wall-to-wall buildings and skyscrapers. It's rare to have a standalone building towards the center. Actually, towards the center, it's almost unheard of. But as you get further and further out from the center, it becomes, it happens, but it's still notable, like that it's a standalone building. In this, with its own parking lot, cracked weeds coming up through it. The lines on the lot are barely visible. Basically, people pretty much just park where they want. It's about half full. The place looks like
I hate
a
it when
run.
people do that.
Oh, you just make up parking spaces. That's a
Yeah,
pet peeve of mine.
I park in between the lines like a proper person.
Yeah, like
Ricky does.
that's a personal pet peeve of mine. I want to key everyone's car who does that. Like, there's a real to your left. Like,
You should
just
see
get
what
in it.
happens when snow gets on the parking lot and there
Oh
are
God,
no
no,
lines.
that happens. Then it's just total anarchy. Well, at that
Which
point,
is like
you
all
kinda,
winter here.
You can kind of understand it because you can't see the lines, but
But
it's still total anarchy.
there are visual cues. There are visual
There
cues.
Because
are
the snow
in,
gets
in
shoveled
some
in
places.
appropriate directions, right?
Well,
Like,
the the snow doesn't melt here, so it just stays on the ground.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in the Great Frozen North.
that's right.
Mm,
The eternal icelands.
the eternal, yes.
So you
Sorry, continue.
Permafrosty.
it's imagine, if you will, a rundown building. It's got a neon sign that looks exactly like the logo, hang bolted up against a wooden wall with an awning. Uh, to give it perspective, at least Bonnie will pick this one up. Think of a maintenance done to it for like 20 years. That's kind of the exterior. Um, but for those who do not have Cracker Barrel near them,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
We know that vibe. True story, I've never been to Cracker Barrel.
you're not really missing a whole lot.
I've seen signs though. I've seen billboards. I know they exist.
I'm gonna throw myself on the skewer here. Pretty much everything except um, like, when you get the chicken fried steak and you cut into it and you can taste the iodine.
Ew.
Yeah,
Ew, that's gross.
is yeah, the is more
That
cooked
one
to
looks
order, but
fancy.
well, no, but imagine that building with no exterior
With
maintenance happening on it for 20
with
years.
no maintenance.
Cracker Barrel, there's the affordable pizza parlor, and not quite that large, but you get the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's not
Like,
a
It's not well kept.
it's not a flashy place. It's affordable.
Although I'm sure I've had this before, so you know what? I think it's probably a good. Because there was a time when I didn't have much money, and I'd come here, late after the bar with my tips and get like a whole medium pizza, maybe
Oh yeah,
large,
oh
and
yeah. No,
eat the shit out of it.
yeah. This is one of those places where it's like $5 for a cheese or pepperoni, $7 for a supreme, and we're talking like a large.
is it one of
Yeah.
those
So
places where like it's $5 if you get it for like pickup, but it costs more if you get it actually delivered?
oh, they don't do delivery.
They charge for delivery.
No, they don't
They
even
don't
do
do
delivery.
They
delivery.
don't even
Okay.
do delivery.
They don't even do delivery.
It's too many. One
Pickup only.
one employee too many.
Well, no, and as you walk in, you start to and well, Ricky already knows this, but as you walk in, it's about half dive bar and half dive pizza parlor,
I
like
take a
sit
deep
down
smell.
pizza.
Oh,
This sounds like the pizza places of my youth.
And yeah, think yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, but with no animatronics and more beer.
Like a Pizza
Uh,
Hut from the 70s.
exactly, except it stayed in the 70s and never
and
changed.
Never
Like
it doesn't have
lapsed.
a salad bar.
Still has that orangey carpet.
yeah, well, no, you can't even tell what color the carpet
The
was.
torn. Well,
Right
it's
now, it's
murky. It's a murky orange.
murky. That's
Murky is a good
no, period.
word.
Murky is the color. That's the color of it. It's got those wooden tables that are like 3 inches thick
Yeah,
wood that you can't tell what it
and
was.
it's got like those
But
kind of
they're
like
very
those
sticky.
kind of like they're supposed to be like stained glass lamp kind of things hanging off of chains, but they can't be glass. Or if they are,
Oh
they're
no,
cracked.
yeah, they might be plastic. You know what it reminds you of as you're looking at it? Whenever you were a kid, those little stained glass kits, pellets, and you'd get it got the wire frame, and you'd put the pellets in the correct little, like, this hole is a leaf, so that gets the green pellets, and then you put it on some parchment paper and put it in the oven, and then you have stained glass. that
Oh
comes out.
yeah, it's a special plastic kind
Yeah, the
of.
special one. That's the kind of stuff it
And
is. But
the incandescent light bulbs have warped it over the years from the heat from the
oh,
bulbs.
oh yeah. And this is a place that you unlike the like the Daffodil Club is intentionally kept dim during main operating hours because it's a nightclub. This place, you think even if they turned the house lights on full, it would impossible for this place to be well lit. Um, and there's a bar to like half of it is a bar, which is a U-shaped bar, rather large one with some people eating at it, some families eating in the other section with the booths and tables. And yes, almost every surface is permanently sticky. You don't really know why or what to investigate. And as you glance around, it's about half full. It's doing a relatively decent business. In spite of budget, the pizza actually looks pretty decent. And
Yeah, hard to fuck up pizza, really.
yeah, and again for $5 using canned mushrooms, who cares? I mean, it's $5, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Do we see a dwarf cleric anywhere?
there is no dwarf cleric, although
Okay.
there is, however, sitting at the bar, there is someone who um, looks like maybe like a 12 or 13-year-old kid, a big old mug of beer, and is idly munching on some pizza, uh, wearing what you could only describe as visibly obvious adventuring gear. There's a backpack on, leaning up next to the stool. Got leather straps across bandolier with all manner of uh, hammers, little hammers, and what look like lockpicks. Looks like someone came out of the Comic Con, but the Comic Con ended yesterday, and wore their
Oh,
Tomb Raider
nice.
outfit here.
So that impresses me a lot, obviously. So I'll make a beeline straight for that fellow and take a stool next to him. Grab the attention of the bartender, of course. Get a pint of something, whatever affordable sells.
There wouldn't have to be a jukebox in this place, would there?
There is, but looking at it from
It
across
only
the room,
plays
you would
Elvis.
think
Oh, I
that
was
it
thinking
doesn't
it's only
work.
Barry Manilow songs, and there's
Barry Manilow
Weekends
and
in
Michael
New
Bolton.
England playing on loop.
No,
Because that would also be like my childhood.
Peter Gabriel.
no, it's one of the old school styles where it has like the little miniature records,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
most of it,
45s.
yeah, all of them are broken except for one, which is "What's New Pussycat."
Oh man, that's a really good tune, actually.
That's a shout out to John.
Tyler will feed a quarter into the machine for that.
Nice.
Well, this thing is so old, a quarter is 5 plays. So you just bought 5 repeats
Oh
of "What's New
yeah.
Pussycat."
Fucking A.
Whoa.
And while the song is playing, I'll order myself a beer and a pepperoni pizza.
And every time they get to the chorus, because
Sitting.
Tyler doesn't know the song, but until they get to the chorus, it's like, "What's new, pussycat?" And he's like finger gunning everybody like at the bar. What's new, pussycat?
Tyler has
Whoa.
immediately earned himself the ire of the entire venue.
Nice. Oh, shit.
Just staying on brand.
So
So
you
Ricky
slide up
gets
next
right
to
into I slide right up and get like right into like RPG mode, like order a pizza and a beer and pretend like I'm not gonna talk to the guy next to me, and then I do.
yeah, he pretty much ignores you for the first minute or two while you're doing your I'm not talking to you, game, even though there's other bar seats that I could go sit at.
Yeah. And I turned to him and I go, how about that weather out there, eh? The sun. It's like, when's it going to come back?
Wait, what you mean about the weather? It's quite nice.
Pardon?
I said, what you mean about the weather? It's quite nice.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, you have an accent.
He must
You
not be from
noticed.
around here.
Oh, is Ricky just dancing around this random sticky carpet, or is Ricky not Ricky, Tyler? Tyler coming over to the bar, or is
Oh
he
yeah,
just randomly dancing
Tyler's
around?
kind of like been overly like dancing around the bar, but he finally settles down in a seat and he'll order a pitcher of Coke.
A picture of what?
Coca-Cola or
Okay.
soda.
Okay.
Oh no,
Some
no,
soda.
no. I didn't hear what you would order
And
a
it
picture
needs
of.
to
I was
be
about to
in plastic
stage.
pitcher and glasses only. None of that
Oh, and
glass.
super worn out. Super worn out because it's been through the dishwasher
Yeah.
14,000 times.
Like the
And the
little
soda,
hairline cracks in the plastic.
Yeah.
and the soda comes out cold, but because the pitcher just came out of the sanitizer at like 2,000 degrees, it's lukewarm by the time you get your first
So there's
pour off of it.
3 pity ice cubes floating at the top.
Just save us, and they eventually go Titanic and succumb to the heat, and it's mostly flat. You're pretty sure that they managed to somehow have a generic cola on tap,
Yeah.
like Shasta.
That's legit right there.
Just cola.
Yeah, it's just cola.
Well, here it's like RC cola. I don't know.
Oh no,
if you
it's
have
not
stuff
even
like
it's
that.
not even a brand name. It's just cola.
I thought it's like the cola in the city is called TC Cola. It's like the city cola.
No Name doesn't make. You guys have No Name in the U.S. Like yellow cans
No
of
name
stuff.
cola. That's the name of the cola. No name cola.
Oh God, what is this? I just learned existed. I was looking
Oh,
for I was looking for a specific can of this cola that we have, and I ran across this, which God, tell me it doesn't
Could be like
exist.
Groovy Choice Cola.
Tell me that's not
oh,
a real
that's fucked
thing.
up. I
Tell me
hope
that's
it's
not a
not
real
real.
thing. I really
I've
hope
never
that's a
seen
Photoshop.
it.
I
What?
really hope that's a Photoshop.
Actually, that would probably be tasty.
No, we have one here that's a white can, and it's got like a purplish red triangle on it, and it just says cola.
Oh,
That's it. That's all it says for a label, just cola.
okay. I just learned this is mostly Canadian, but we have this
Oh, here
brand
we
called
go.
No Name, which is actually owned by Loblaws. I don't. Do you guys have Loblaws in the
No.
U.S.? Oh, and every packaging, all the packaging they do, everything is yellow. It's just like yellow can, yellow jar, yellow packaging, and they just put the name of the product, and then it says No Name. I'll throw a picture on there.
This sounds
So
awesome.
we have something similar, at least where I'm at, called cha-ching, where it's like a yellowish orange, and yeah, that's all it is. That's all just yellowish orange, like
All of
flour.
all of my
This
New York
is
store
this is an
brands are less
example.
colorful.
I love it.
That's and they make everything like cheese,
Yeah, and you've got that dual
pickles,
Canadian
peanut
language.
butter. Yeah, it's got French and English on it, of course. But all their packaging is this yellow, this bright yellow with the black lettering, and it says No Name, and then the item, and
I
they sell
love
it.
it.
It's like the discount brand in all grocery
I
stores.
love it to death.
I love it that it says no name sans nom. That's great.
Yeah,
That is my
exactly.
brand. That's the brand I want.
No
I want
Name.
that.
That they have sold me with their marketing.
So yeah, basically they're serving you or the no name, just cola, semi-lukewarm.
I hope
Your
it's cola.
your pizzas arrive. They're actually pretty decent. I mean, they're not great, but
I'm gonna
like
I'm gonna try to shake things up and I'm gonna be like, ask them if they have pizza rolls, but like, do they
no.
have the pizza rolls that have jalapenos in them?
Yes, yes, that's perfect.
That is so awesome.
That is
That
cola.
is
That is exactly what
amazing.
is being
There
served.
it is. Yellow
That is
can.
exactly what
Oh,
it is.
that is the
Cola.
It's
dream.
small and not even capitalized or anything. Just
Yep.
cola.
Please tell me they have one that just says beer.
Oh, they do actually. I got a beer one too.
Okay, that is your task is to find the beer. Okay, so basically while this is going on, you've been chatting up this individual who seems to not mind that it's dark outside. Yes,
Notice cola is the same in French and English, I think. Just cola. But beer is beer. Beer.
I love it. Beer,
5%
beer.
even. That's pretty decent.
Oops, there we go. So yes,
So
you're chatting up.
we're with the weirdo who likes the night.
Yeah, as you're closer, get close to him, you can tell, or close to this individual, you can tell about 3.5 feet tall, um, shock of hair that's ruffled in every direction, with goggles pulled up on top.
Oh, fuck yes. I love this guy. Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase here. You're Morgan, right?
Hi, how'd you know?
We have a mutual friend, Dr. Blarg.
Hey.
Blag? Sorry, Blag. Sorry,
It's Blarg.
an accent came out there.
Eat more butts.
Oh God. This is me. This isn't Morgan. Morgan is just shaking his head into his pizza, or into their pizza, and is just like, "What do you got me into now?"
Okay, so it's about force fields, right? I turned to Tyler. It's about
Force
force
fields
fields, right?
and the darkness.
Uh,
Magic force fields in
you
the
have
darkness.
you know about magic force fields, right?
And or like do you think of alter like timelines? Magic force fields or
I'll save that for later.
eternal darkness.
So
Oh, if you want eternal darkness, that's pretty easy. Just look outside.
yeah,
That part's easy.
okay. So we met a guy who had a force field recently in battle, and we're trying to figure out how to just beat that. Dr. Blogg said you could help.
Help? No, no, that's not what I can help with. That's not my bailiwick there. No, but what I can help you with is you probably sent you to get down to the dungeon.
Oh, that's exactly what. Sorry, I've had some scotch. We need some
I've
help
had two
getting into
sips of
the.
beer.
I have had a cola and beer.
I've drank half a liter of water and
Had a
it
liter of
washed all the
beer.
information away.
um,
The flood. Just
we need
whoosh.
we need some help getting to the dungeon under the city.
All right, well, that part I can help you out with. Getting to the dungeon is pretty easy once you know how. Basically, you see, what happened was when the city was built, uh, you build the city with the sewers, but when they were building the sewers, they tried to go a little bit too deep, and when they did, they bumped up against a doorway. Actually, several, but the one I know, um, it's not too far from here. into the sewers. You take it down, and he kind of like sketches you a little map on a napkin, and of course it's in a felt ink pen, so it starts to bleed all over the place and get a little blurry, and slides it over. Says the problem we have now is there's a doorman, so to speak.
Mm. And who's this doorman?
It, that would be Rodney.
Rodney?
Getting in, excuse me, getting into the dungeon is a bit tricky now that Rodney's all you see. But because the door only opens from one way, someone on the other side, Rodney, has to open it up for you.
And is there
But
a password for this Rodney?
what?
Is there a password for the Rodney?
Oh no, not really. He just let you in. See, the thing with the dungeon is they sealed it from the inside so that things wouldn't escape. They still do anyway. Lots of things. You see, I find them, bring him up to Dr. Blag there. But all you got to do is get to Rodney. Get in. But even though he took a bit of a tumble, see, I got a contact that he owes me a favor, so to speak,
Okay.
and he can get you in. But you got to do me a favor in return. See, last
Of
time I was in there,
course.
I knew it!
You're an NPC, of course we'll do something for you.
Of course, we got a conquest. That's how these things work. So you see, last time I was in there, I conveniently to the plot took an arrow in the knee from one of the traps that were in the dungeon. At least that instance. I was trying to get one of these polydactyls for Blag. He wants to study one, but therein lies the tricky part. I already brought him a dead one. It's like this a snake you see with 4 pairs of wings, but they're not like leathery wings that would make sense. They're like feathers, which don't make no sense whatsoever. 4 pairs of feathery wings on a snake,
Oh,
and they fly through the
that
air.
sounds disgusting.
Well, you're trying to tell us that there are traps in the dungeon?
In the dungeon. Yes.
And did you say there was an instance, as in a parallel dungeon?
Well, you see, the problem with the dungeon, and this is why we've never mapped it out all the way, is it keeps changing. Every time you go through it, it's different.
Procedural generation. Nice.
More like actively trying to fuck with your brain.
Yeah, like procedural generation.
Like you walk in, and you turn around, and the door you just came through, and
Oh, like that David Bowie movie.
Like a labyrinth.
one
Or
might say it's, one might say it's labyrinthine, yeah.
or like Cube.
The labyrinth.
Okay, we should watch those movies before we go there,
Before we continue with the
Tyler.
adventure.
At least I haven't found. At least I haven't found any. Giant laser fences trying to dice me into cubes yet. Yet.
But it's the the idea.
But they're arrows. Arrow
get us
traps
in the mood.
in the dungeon.
Or there are all manner of traps in the dungeon. Why do you think I got all my gear with me?
Oh, it's a lootable dungeon. Okay.
But down in there, you're going to find all manner of things, including magical items.
Magic? Are you saying magic in this world?
Eh?
Well, they say magic is just science we don't understand yet.
That's
He's
true.
He's on to something.
Okay, well, I snatch up the napkin.
So, what I'll do if you're in, I'll make my contact in. But you got to get me one of those polydactyls alive.
Oh, alive. Okay.
Oh
Do
yeah,
you have a bag of
dead's
holding
easy.
or something?
No, dead's easy. Oh, that's up to you. No, but see, the catch with these polydactyls, and this is what makes them tricky, is you see they fly. You can hear things flap, 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 as they fly. What the polydactyls like to do, they get up in the pipes on the ceiling, and wrap themselves up. And then when they go to attack, like you walk underneath them, they just unwrap themselves from the pipe and then glide down. You can barely hear them when they glide down.
Oh, well, you
Oh
know,
shit!
I got special hearing. It's your lucky day, dude. Because my ears are extra sensitive to sound. I
Well,
bet I
maybe
can
that'll keep
hear
you
your
alive.
polydactyl, snaky-winged, feathered friends.
And I got this, and I just unsheathed. Oh, I think we're in costume, right?
So all I gotta
Yeah.
do is I'll
Yeah.
hear them,
I just unsheathed my sword, just a fifth,
I'll hear them, and then
and then
Shota
slide it
here
back
will
in,
punch him in the face.
or slice them.
And then
You
we'll
know.
put those cats in a bag.
But I won't slice them too deep, so that they're alive.
Because he wants them alive. Yeah, paper cuts.
Well, it's almost like you conveniently know a zookeeper.
Do we? Oh. Oh,
How does he know,
yeah.
Morgan?
Do they have these at the zoo? Can we just go to the zoo and get with these polydactyl, wingy, snake furry things? I thought
You
they
don't
were
even
only at
need
the
to-
Dune June.
You can be pretty sure that they don't have four-winged snakes at the memorial zoo.
At this point, Tyler like whispers over to Shota. He's like, "Do you think we should tell Bert and Mother Nature about this whole deal? Like, should we bring him along, or should we just like leave a note?"
I don't know. I mean,
I
usually
think
we can handle this
I
type of
think
stuff.
we can handle it totally. This is like looks
Yeah,
like sounds
this
like
is
it's
right up
made
our
for us.
alley.
Yeah,
You know, the others will just get in the way.
you're right. We
Yeah.
should leave them a note that they should research force fields or something,
Exactly. Or parallel
or
timelines.
parallel timelines. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I should let you know before you go in to the dungeon. You might want to stock up on supplies. You see this little backpack here. You don't look
Like healing potions.
Ooh, like
if you find
jalapeno
some.
popper rations.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, say if you find some, sure, but you need a little more mundane things like. He kind of like looks you guys both up and down. And goes, "You don't look rightly well equipped for that sort of thing.
Oh, you mean like a 10-foot pole and buttermilk?
Like
I was gonna say that time before.
food,
Uh,
water, maybe some purifying tablets,
oh
rest
yeah,
kits.
of course.
You
Yeah,
might
it's like
find-
we're going camping.
Purifying tablets?
I camped once.
Is this a sex dungeon? What do we need to be
No.
pure for? What do we need purification for?
You're not going to be able to carry all the
You
water.
can't drink the water down there. It's full of shit.
What? There's people pooping in the water?
Well, it's a dungeon
What kind of dungeon is this?
under the city. There's probably sewer in there.
It's the
probably so.
dungeon under the sewers.
Oh man, that's gross. Are you sure we don't want to wait for like Bert and Mother Nature?
Oh, another thing. Those cell phones here. There are no towers 300 feet below the city.
Good. Good. This is good information. This is very good information. I'll write it down on the napkin.
It tears. You get like one letter in and just.
Tyler holds up his flip phone that's held together by duct tape, and he's like, "It's okay. I'm used to that situation."
Basically, anything you think you would want to take on a dangerous camping trip. Like one where you're rock climbing.
Oh, goody, we can have a machete.
Mhm.
I'm totally bringing a machete, dude.
Okay, yeah, good to know. Good to know. I'm sure we can get supplies back at home base, you know.
Just but before you set off, about an hour before you go, give me a call. Or just text me or whatever. And he slides a card over. And it has his name written on it. And a number. That's all that's on it.
Does it
Oh,
just say Morgan,
nice.
or does he have like an extended name?
Oh, it's been written.
Her name's
Oh.
Morgan Formie Tankard.
Tankard. For me, Tankard.
Formie Tankard, yes.
More gin for me, Tankard.
It's a hyphenated name. My spouse got the other half.
Was your mom one of those feminists?
I've no.
Oh, we lost the witty response. Sorry.
Oh no, he said what? No.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Alrighty. Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Your wife
Expect a call.
Does your wife's family own a bowling alley? By any chance?
I don't think so.
Tyler's super confused. You should totally take her to Lotta Balls because I think she'd find it amusing.
I'll keep that in mind. He kind of does a weird nod, like, okay.
It's great, man. It's really great. You'll love it.
Well, that don't,
Fun night for the whole family.
right. Unless you got any other business, I'm gonna get back to my pizza,
Sure.
which is now
And then
cold.
I chug my beer
I chug my cola.
The lukewarm
and
cola.
grab a takeout box for my pizza, and we skedaddle.
All right. By the way, what I need Tyler to do at this point is give me a tough plus hero roll.
Oh, my rolls are getting better. 4.
4. Okay. You get about you stand up, watch as Ricky chugs his pint, pick up the pitcher of lukewarm cola, and get straight out of the side of the pitcher. You get about halfway through it, and then there's a little burp that kind of comes back up, and you end up back into the pitcher and over some of the bar, and the residents who were already slightly annoyed with you after the 5th playback of What's New Pussycat just finished just kind of give you this death glare as you put the down.
Tyler coolly put the pitcher down and say to them, in some countries, that is a compliment of the highest honor. And then he tries to walk away like he's cool.
Just on the heel, just strutting swagger out.
He's trying.
As you leave, the music comes back up.
Yeah, and on the way out the door, I put in another quarter.
Oh no!
Oh.
What's new, Pussycat? Whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
And as somehow, even though there's eternal night going on with a starless sky, somehow it seems brighter outside than it did in the Affordable Pizza Parlor. You get the that place is never going to be a shining beacon of light. So, having met Morgan Formie Tankard with directions through the local sewer manhole cover towards the dungeon, I'm looking at the. That's where we're going to call it this week.
Oh yeah. Before we pack up and go, yeah. It's a
So
good idea.
head back to HQ,
Head back to
get some
Defenders
supplies.
HQ.
Because I got to get a machete and a net at the very least.
And I'll get one of those safari jungle hats.
Oh, yeah.
Pith helmet.
Oh, can we get a
pit helmet.
burrow? I want to get Burrow.
To carry all
Carry
our
our
stuff.
stuff. Since I can't bring my Vespa. I don't have a Vespa anymore, so I think a Burrow. A
First
Burrow
ladder.
is the next best
Oh,
thing.
sorry, Burrow.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder if they have floating burrows at Defenders HQ. I mean, they have a lot of, test gear,
You're
research and development kind of stuff.
you don't know absolutely everything that Defenders HQ. I'm pretty sure a livery was not on one of them.
Maybe, Dr. Blarg has a floating burrow. He's got a buying fish. And, he probably thinks he got rid of us. Won't he be surprised?
When we show up again.
Just one more thing, Doctor,
Sorry,
sir. Just
Oy.
one more annoying plot point, sir.
So, we're gonna have a little bit of homework over the next week, assuming everyone is. Hold on, come on, calendar. Assuming everyone is groovy for the 4th.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, should be okay.
Okay. I don't know if we're going to have a race or not by then, but we'll see. Assuming everyone is groovy for that, then what I would like you to do is just compile it into one email is equipment that you would either like to get, like I mean, obviously most Monday find it in a Walmart, you can get it, no problems really, at the HQ. That's a good way of thinking about it. If it's available at Walmart, sure, whatever. Things that are out, like say a floating, I can't.
Floating burrow is out.
Things that you would like to acquire that may not be found at
I
a
bet they have
Walmart.
them on Amazon.
You still might be able to get, but just basically jot it all down into an email and send it to me maybe next Monday or whenever you think you're done. And we'll look it over and see what can do.
We should totally ask for a flying carpet, and everything else will seem reasonable in comparison. Because we're not getting that.
You've watched Airheads recently, haven't you?
No, I haven't, but I am an airhead, so.
Oh, okay. No, so yeah, basically just think of what you would like to gear up for, and if if you would like, we can assume that Ricky and Tyler would inform Mother Nature about this so she can have her own list as well. Her being a zoologist would probably have a less stupid list when it comes to and
Well, you
the
would
safe
think
transport.
so.
You would think she'd know how to subdue and
But
transport.
considering
And
the
Also,
same
yeah,
person
and
is
if
playing
Mr.
both
Bits is
characters,
around,
you're probably shit out of luck because I'm playing both characters.
well, I mean, she's probably gonna come
She'll
up with
bring the
things
ketamine
like
gun.
the ketamine gun and an animal carrier. Oh, by the way, yeah, something I forgot to mention when Morgan was telling you about the polydactyls. They go anywhere about 6 inches long when they're young to roughly 3 feet long. Uh, as far as they can tell, fully grown, that's about the largest they've encountered. But there's no, just like with reptiles, IRL ones, if they don't die, they just keep fucking growing, like snakes do. Like, holy shit. Hypothetically, there's an 18-foot long polydactyl. Who knows?
Oh, who
But
knows?
the
Wink,
largest
wink.
sample, the largest specimens they have seen and encountered are about 3.5 feet long.
We need the little cute ones.
Problem with the super smaller ones is they're much more likely to weasel their way out of a carrier.
Don't they put snakes in bags? I feel like I've seen snakes in fabric bags.
Yeah, that's for very short-term transit. Um, maybe not snakes with wings. Actually, I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I've only seen them do bags for like
Yeah, like
short-term stuff. But
yeah, I've only seen them at snake presentations where like somebody's show and telling some snakes.
oh, it's a bag inside a rigid plastic container. So you need both.
Well, that'll
And
be
why
easy for
is the first
transport.
Google result, how do you transport a snake on a plane?
Because the
Because
movie.
people have seen the movie. Don't want those snakes on no planes.
Yeah, the first the most common response is cloth bag. The opaque bag prevents the snake from escaping the box and tends to reduce the snake's stress level as it prevents activity. The rigid plastic box is to protect them from being jostled around and bumped and crushed, etc. Marge, of course, would know this.
Sure, she would. But hey, if it's a snake with wings on, yeah, oh man, oh man.
Well, this you're shooting pretty sure that the winged snake would be at least adjacent to that kind of
And
transport.
birds like the hood over the cage too to make them calm and sleep and stuff. I think.
So, as someone who's owned birds, yes, they do. Covering up the eyes, the hoods over the eyes, or if you have a cage, covering the cage with a sheet or what have you, definitely prevents lowers the stress levels. Um, so you would think, since both birds and snakes, do the bag to opaque bag being,
She's totally bringing an opaque bag.
several opaque bags, ideally, because you don't want one to get ripped by an arrow through the knee from a trap in a dungeon beneath the sewers beneath the
Nobody has
city.
trap skills.
Traps are not usually something you need to worry about as a superhero in a modern urban setting,
Items don't get damaged, right?
says the person who cut little room in half.
Like, I wonder how high the ceiling is in this dungeon because maybe I could like jump over the traps. But if like the ceiling is too low in the dungeon, I can't jump over the traps.
Well, you also know that you can do long jumps as well as high jumps.
Oh, I can do long jumps as well.
Yeah, you can totally Wolverine at someone with
Oh, that's
with a bowling ball
smashing.
if you wanted to.
Oh, cool. I'll just jump over everything that looks dangerous. It'll be
But
fine.
it'll be fine.
Okay, so
A
equipment list.
dungeon to find an four-winged snake and an unknown magical item to break the force field that surrounds the got zombies crawling all over the city and potentially is blocking out the sun.
I'm sure this will be fine.
We'll have this wrapped up by Tuesday. It'll be fine.
It'll be
Next
fine.
Tuesday.
So at least we know what we'll be doing for the next 6 months.
Well, to
Okay.
be fair, The Hangover only took, what, 2 months?
Oh, all right. I am turning into a pumpkin, so I will try to make a really fabulous list of all the stuff that we absolutely, absolutely must have.
Roger.
in order to go into a dungeon.
A dungeon.
A dungeon. Coolio.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming. I was happy to finally get back into the having withdrawals.
We are
No.
back.
We are officially back, maybe. All right. Well, ta-ta. Until next time.
So long, farewell, Zvider
Good night, everybody.
Oh, wait. Is it Tuesday yet? No, Matt
Yeah,
Mercer signs
it
off
is.
every
It
critical
is
role with "Is
Tuesday.
it Thursday yet?"
Oh, okay.
Meaning
I'm like,
next Thursday.
dude,
So is it Tuesday yet?
dude, it's Tuesday. We just finished playing Stupor Heroes.
Good night.
Oh, don't die.
Bye, Steve.